You are listening to the Quite Useless podcast.
Hello and welcome to the Quite Useless podcast. My name's Jordan Shaw, and Erin McAvoy is not here. Don't worry, she's not dead. She's not ill, as far as I know. I saw her last week, and she was in perfect health, and actually doing very well. She's doing very busy with her band Mandulo and Hepzibah, and they're so busy with all their gigs and recording and stuff just now that she's decided to step back, unfortunately, from hosting the podcast. But we'll get her back on soon as a guest. She can come on with her co-musician Sabrina, maybe play some songs and talk about what she's up to. But it's good that she's busy. We're sorry to lose her, but it's good that she's getting out there and living the dream.
I, on the other hand,
we have
no plans.
Stepping into the Erin McAvoy shaped void. We have that other voice that you can hear. She's an actress and a musician.
Vaguely musician.
Yeah, she can play the ukulele. Dad taught pianist, and now juggler.
Yep.
Please welcome Popular Oni.
Hiya.
I'm sure everyone is clapping right now.
Yeah, everybody's thrilled.
They're all delighted to hear you. The one and only Popular Oni.
Yeah.
Literally the one and only Popular Oni. Aren't you? I don't think
as far as I'm aware, yeah. It's not too common a name. None of my family have somebody in it called Poppy other than me. So.
Poppy's kind of, like, obviously not Loroni, but Poppy's quite a popular name. It's getting...
Yeah, I think it was... People, I get really mixed reactions to it because people either think I'm from tons of money or my parents were high when they named me. That's the two reactions I tend to get.
Is Poppy a particularly bourgeois name?
Apparently it used to be like not quite royal, but it was very upper class to have the name Poppy. But we're talking like much earlier in the 1900s.
Yeah, because sometimes I think about your name, and like the more I think about it, the more ridiculous it seems.
It is like quite
Poppy. Like, it's like almost onomatopoeic.
Yeah.
Like pop.
Well, that's if you Google. Well, I've Googled myself, and because my uncle Stephen produces pop songs.
Mm-hmm.
If you Google Poppy Loroni, it'll come up with Stephen Loroni produced Poppy track, whatever. So
it's a good name for it. I've seen a lot of dogs called Poppy.
Yes, that's a vibe. I lived next to a dog called Poppy, and it was very, very infuriating. It was like the summer that I lived in this one flat in Paisley. It was like, Poppy, Poppy, and I was like, what? Looking around all the time.
Never met a dog called Jordan though.
No.
Have you ever come across? I think it would be quite a good name for a dog.
I quite like it for a dog, like a big dog.
Thank you.
And of course, with your curly hair and your beard, you just need a curly big dog.
Some people say I look a bit like a lion. Imagine a lion called Jordan.
Sure.
I don't think it
maybe
wouldn't be
a wee lion cub as opposed to like
it wouldn't be the king lion. It wouldn't be like Mufasa level. It's much more Simba tier, or even Kovu. You're not a Lion King fan, actually.
No.
You shouldn't talk about that. You won't have seen the second Lion King.
No.
In which this is like.
I probably have seen it, but I've got no recollection. I don't really remember what happens in the first, other than it's based on Hamlet.
Yeah.
So.
Quite loosely. There are no lions. They did a third one. It's called Lion King 1.5. It's really, really good. It went straight to DVD, but it is the you can laugh, but it is the best straight to DVD film that Disney have ever done, and it's like Rosencrantz and Guildenstern are dead. They made sort of based on
the
Hamlet.
Tom Stoppard.
Yeah, and it's Timon and Pumbaa are in the cinema watching The Lion King. And then they go, oh, this is rubbish, we're not in it enough. And then it takes you to like what Timon and Pumbaa were doing like, during the other events in the film that they're not in.
That's quite good.
And it is actually
That's
sort of
pretty
quite
impressive.
Funny and interesting, yeah. Much better than the Lion King TV series. The other TV series on Disney.
Really?
You won't have seen that, yeah.
No.
That wasn't up to much.
I can't imagine it would be.
Because they make TV series out of animated films all the time. They've done one on Home. They released last year. It was an animated one by, might have been DreamWorks. I don't know. But Rihanna was in it.
Okay.
It wasn't very good.
Was it a musical like most?
No, I wouldn't call it a musical. I don't think it had music in it. It wasn't people singing randomly, as we will talk about later. Should we get started?
Sure.
Well, first up on the menu, by your request, is the awards season. It's awards season.
Yeah.
Has come up. People want validation for the bits of art that they've made.
Fair enough.
Well, yeah. Well, I mean, they get plenty of financial validation.
Of course,
these people. But the Golden Globes have just been.
Yeah, it was hosted by Jimmy Fallon this year, which I can imagine would be quite a laugh. He is my favourite male late night talk host.
Yeah.
Yes.
I find him a bit unctuous, a bit ingratiating. He's a bit of clappy.
He is very clappy. I think he finds himself very funny, but I also find myself very funny, so I quite enjoy when somebody's having a good time. But yeah, I think he would be quite good to host.
Yeah, I'm sure. And the other Jimmy chat show host, Kimmel, is doing the Oscars.
Yeah, I'm not thrilled.
I like him.
I'm not a fan of Jimmy Kimmel.
No.
No, it's because I watch everything online, and Jimmy Kimmel at the end of his YouTube videos, he's like, "Did you enjoy that?" Yeah. And it's so condescending. I really, for that reason alone, I don't like him. And then I find him quite brutal in interviews. But I have a funny feeling that's how I would come off interviewing someone as opposed to
brutal.
Jimmy Fallon.
Well, he's kind of he was a protege of David Letterman.
Kimmel?
Who I always found quite. He could be a bit not rude, but he wasn't like Jimmy Fallon, where he's like sort of pandering to his guests.
But and that's the thing. I think the people that the actors that go and promote movies and the musicians that go about and go and promote all their stuff, all their work, like you're answering the same stuff over and over and over again. So I do really like a talk show that makes it a bit more exciting. There must be nothing worse than talking to somebody who doesn't seem thrilled about the work that you're doing.
Yeah, definitely. I'm sure. Yeah, it's quite nice to have someone to celebrate you, as he often does. And also it's rehearsed as well, but they'll have done that before. Yeah,
but that's what I find quite weird, because it's only been in the last year or so I've started realising that they talk about the kind of pre-interview interview, and obviously it's necessary because you don't want somebody to ask you a question you can't answer.
I think as well, Graham Norton always gets praise from Americans, especially because they're not used to his style for being like the best talk show host. And I think he is the best talk show host in North America.
I've recently got very into him.
Yeah.
I find him very funny.
And it always feels so sort of natural. Like everyone's talking together.
And then it's kind of like, so he's got his cards and then he's like, it doesn't really matter. Yeah. Like he'll happily just go off on a big rant.
And Craig Ferguson as well, who's my favourite American talk show host, he actually, whenever he would come out to do an interview at the start, every interview he had the cards and he would rip them up and throw them away to sort of signify that his was a bit different. And he was really good. I watched that YouTuber Nerdwriter one.
Yes.
He does those excellent sort of videos analysing art and culture and stuff. Yeah. He just did one on Craig Ferguson.
Okay, I'll maybe give that a watch, because I watched the one he did on Sherlock.
Yeah. He's done one on a Bon Iver song.
Ooh,
if you've seen that, we're going to be talking about Bon Iver later in the episode. But yeah, I can't remember the song, but it's really good. And it's if you look him up on YouTube, it's Nerdwriter 1, and he takes apart the song into tiny pieces and looks at what this bit is doing and how he sort of inverts that. And
maybe I have seen that. I think it's Holocene.
It might be, yeah.
I think it's Holocene because it's about the repeated tunes and then each bit. But the one about Sherlock, the newest season of Sherlock, was fantastic. It was about how they convey the train of thought. Mm-hmm. And I'd seen another one about how it's that they do the best text on screen, the most kind of integrated, but this one was about the train of thought. And then I just watched a Graham Norton of Benedict Cumberbatch talking about when he's doing that kind of thing, he has to memorise it and then just know it so well that he can just blurt it out and not even think about it, because it's all to happen exactly as it's being said.
Right.
He says the thoughts as soon as he thinks them. So yeah, it's quite interesting. I can imagine it'd be quite hard to do.
The idea behind Marlon Brando's acting style, if you can call it style, obviously it was very frustrating for the director because he couldn't learn his lines. But his idea behind not learning his lines was that he wanted them to be fresh, and he wanted them to come out as if his character was just thinking them on the spot.
I think it depends how you learn lines though, because I learn lines by writing them down repeatedly.
This is what Anthony Hopkins does as well. He's like the opposite and learns them inside out.
Yeah, I'm very much for learn every word as it was written, unless I really don't like how it was written, which is rare. But if something just doesn't roll off the tongue, then it kind of has to be changed. But I'm very much prescribed to the write everything down, and then I sit with Martha and go over. She could understudy any part in any play I do because she's heard it about 8 times.
I did help my little sister with her lines in her first play. She was playing the starring antagonist, the Candy King, and a little Christmas shoot that she did with her lines. She was very, very proud to have the most lines in the whole show.
Is this your youngest sister?
Yeah, Abby. Yeah. She did very well and remembered every line. The family's all very proud.
Yeah.
But back to the Golden Globes. So
Golden Globe for Abby as the.
Yeah, well, I'm sure. Yeah, that was our first. I got her to sign the programme and everything. That would be worth quite a bit.
I can imagine you'd be quite a good brother, Jordan.
So what did you think about the winners and losers?
Yeah, it was quite a diverse winners list, which is good for representation.
Well, I mean, it's diverse even in art form, isn't it?
Yeah, so the Golden Globes is the only main one that crosses over between film and television. The Emmys is purely television, and the Oscars are purely film. So it's quite nice to have an award show where everybody comes together and actors and directors talk about it like it's one of the most fun, because everybody just gets horrendously drunk and sits around at these big tables and has a good night. So,
or maybe it benefits from being sort of a step below the Oscars, that it's not got.
Yeah, I think it
attention.
probably does, but also having the benefit of reviewing those films at the same time, whereas the Emmys kind of, everybody in TV is really excited about the Emmys, but it doesn't get quite as much attention as the Oscars.
So best motion picture that's divided into, I'm looking at it on Wikipedia right now.
Yes.
That's divided into 2 categories.
Yep.
Musical and comedy and drama.
Yes.
And the winner of drama was Moonlight.
Yeah, so that's the story of the young gay black man who it's a kind of coming out story.
That Moonlight got 6 nominations, actually, which was one below La La Land, which won the best musical or comedy.
La La Land walked away with a total of 7 wins, which is
deserved. We both saw it last night.
Did you watch it last night as well? I didn't realise it was last night.
Yeah,
oh wow!
Just watched it.
Unplanned, I can assure you.
What did you think?
I enjoyed it. I thought it was quite a slow start. I thought the titles, the big opening song, for paying kind of homage to the old 20th Century Fox, MGM Grand musicals. I didn't think it quite had the vocal quality in the chorus that a lot of those old musicals had. And I think it took them a while to establish the story, but once they did, I was pretty hooked. I really loved Ryan Gosling and Emma Stone. I thought they were brilliant. I think Emma Stone particularly. What I loved most about the movie was the way it was shot. Everything looked so beautiful. Like, you could take a picture of any frame and it would be something stunning to look at. Yeah,
it was directed by Damien Chazelle.
Yeah, who also won for Best Screenplay. And
who directed Whiplash, which was in 2015.
Yes.
Which was equally sort of gorgeous and well shot. What I thought about that opening sort of song and dance number is where they're in there's a big traffic jam on the highway, and people get out of their cars and sing and dance and stuff. And at that point, I thought, I'm not sure I'm going to like this, because I don't really like musicals. But
whereas I'm a big fan of musicals, as long as they're not sung the whole way through, like Les Mis or any of the Andrew Lloyd Webber ones, I'm not a huge fan of. But I do generally enjoy musicals. But it didn't quite grab me, that first opening number, and then I think it slowly built into something I was thoroughly enjoying.
Well, what I thought was weird about that bit, not bad weird, but just a little different, was that whenever you watch musicals that are in that kind of style where everyone's singing and dancing and happy and stuff, you kind of buy into it a bit more immediately because it's in a world that is, although it might be similar to the modern day, it feels a little different. Like it's either different, it's distant in time, or it's in a different place.
Yeah, I've not really noticed that before, but that is true. Like LA has to be, something we see people who are involved in arts and culture a lot. Like it's not a too far away land. We know generally what it looks like. We know that they're always in traffic jams, and musicals are normally set in a different time or something that you don't normally see quite as much.
And that did kind of sum up where the film went. It was about putting this sort of classical song and dance musical spirit into what was quite a everyday relationship, really, apart from the fact that they were both pursuing careers in the entertainment industry, which most of us don't. It was quite a simple story and one that anyone could sort of relate to.
Yeah, I think as actor, I did deeply resonate with Emma Stone's breakdown. There's a beautiful line where she says, she gets an audition, and at that point she's given up in the movie. It's kind of her big classic blowout meltdown, and he tells her she's got this audition and she decides that she can't go because this might kill me. And that really hit home as somebody who's trying to get auditions and trying to keep going. That kind of real hurt that you could see in her there, I really thoroughly enjoyed.
She was excellent, wasn't she?
Yeah.
Just all round.
I had a friend say that she was the one you can't take your eyes off of the whole time, and I totally agreed with that.
I think she's often like that. Even I haven't seen her in a whole lot of things, but even something like Birdman, where she only had a relatively small part, she really stood out, and she was absolutely the star of this film. She won best performance in a musical or comedy for the Golden Globes as well.
Yeah, which I think was
and she
deserved.
Actually, so did he. Ryan Gosling.
Well, that's and then the other ones, just to total off the 7 awards that they got, were Best Original Score, and that was Justin Hurwitz, and Best Original Song for City of Stars.
That was the one that recurred a few times.
Yeah, that kind of motif throughout the film.
But one of the things that I don't really like about musicals is I feel that they can often be a lot more sort of glitz over actual substance. I think they can lack a little emotional weight and depth and complexity. But this absolutely had that. Which
I think is given from the fact that they were actors before they were dancers and singers. Other than Ryan Gosling, who was kind of hip hop street of dance.
He didn't really dance much though. There's one sequence where they're at night and they're sitting on a bench and they do a lot of dancing, but there's not a whole lot of dancing in it. It's mostly singing. No, and
that's the sequence that they played the most, I think, to promote the film, and I was quite disappointed that there was a lack of that from Ryan Gosling particularly. It was more of him playing the piano, which he learned to do for the film.
Well, that scene was very old-fashioned. The film wasn't quite all like that. It didn't feel like it was made in the 20s.
I mean, the main thing they kind of kept was the style of the music and the costume, which I really liked, because I mean all the costumes Emma Stone wore were stuff that people could wear today. Ryan Gosling's suits were a bit more of the period. It just made me want to dress smart about the place and like look cool all the time.
Even the music as well, it was about jazz, just like Damien Chazelle's Whiplash. He was obviously a fan of jazz.
Yeah, clearly.
And it looked at the sort of relationship between sort of traditional jazz, which Ryan Gosling was really into, and then like jazz fusion.
Which I think John Legend made a really good point of. He's also in the movie, and he kind of plays a old friend of Ryan Gosling he doesn't particularly get along with. But he made a point about how Ryan Gosling was clinging to this old traditional jazz, and that's why it was dying out, because if you love something so much that you don't want to touch it, then it's never going to grow and stay alive, which I think was kind of a metaphor for the movie as well. It was a hint to that MGM Grand musical, but it was updated.
It was difficult because although you obviously automatically sympathise with Ryan Gosling's character, who's one all about focusing on pure jazz and bringing that back and making that popular. You also kind of felt that John Legend's character had a point, and that people weren't interested in it, and you needed to find some way to modernise it.
Yeah.
There was a lot of that in the film. I think you weren't quite sure who was in the right. People were fighting and stuff, and as far as it was like that, it felt really realistic.
Completely, and it didn't also, I don't feel like it completely made an effort to conclude any of those arguments. Because Ryan Gosling ended up opening up his traditional jazz club, but he never completely admonished the fact that jazz fusion was a thing. It was very much, yeah, okay, I've done that part and now I'm going to go back to do what I originally wanted to do. It wasn't too much about, well, I'm right, so screw you, I'm going to go and open my club. I think it was quite open-ended. You were allowed to have your own opinion. I mean, it was all about that struggling artist trying to make it, and I think what was the clearest thing about the whole film was that they were both just really passionate about what they do. That was, I mean, that showed when Emma Stone breaks down into tears in that audition. It shows when he's constantly rewinding the record to try and figure out the exact notes and the exact timing of when they're played. Like, it was just full of passion.
I think that the fundamental conflict throughout the whole film was between that passion for their dream and their career and what they wanted to do with their life, and their passion for their relationships and personal lives, and making the choice between those two things, which
was ultimately their downfall.
Yeah, well, without wanting to spoil it.
Yeah, I'll leave it there, but I mean, I did think the end, without ruining it, was very confusing and then excellent.
Yeah, I think that the film was quite traditional and quite conventional, and not the film, the story, and it was quite predictable and quite simple, but I think the way they tied it up, and also the way they told it, was really quite extraordinary. It was
yeah, completely, and I think that's something that more people need to do. If people just put energy into making like a short, excellent love story, simple, person meets person, fall in love, there's some sort of heartbreak, get back together. That if you can do that well, then you can progress to anything. Because there's so many things you can do with it.
Yeah, because it is something that everyone can sort of relate to.
Yeah.
But aside from the people that won all the awards at the Golden Globes, the probably the main story that came out of it, that was being talked about far more than who won Best Motion Picture and stuff, was Meryl Streep's speech at the end. Or was it the end, actually? I don't know, I didn't watch it, but I heard about the
Yeah, I don't actually know whether it was the end or not. I have a funny, it probably was. She was awarded the Cecile B. DeMille Award for a lifetime achievement in the arts, and used it as an opportunity to call out the soon to be, we're recording this on the last day of Obama's presidency, so we're about to be in Trump land. Yeah.
You say she called him out, but she didn't actually mention him.
But that's how powerful Meryl Streep is.
We know what she was talking about, but I mean, it's something that's kind of split people's opinions on it. Some people are very much, go on Meryl, yeah, if you tell them. And it's also made some people very, very cross. I don't know how I felt about it. I felt it was a bit sort of sanctimonious and elitist.
I've read similar things, but I've also read the counter argument to people saying that, because so a lot of people say that she's in this bubble of Hollywood, and she's in the left-wing bubble of people who believe the same views as hers, and she shouldn't be using the fact that she won an award to start talking about who a nation voted for to be their president in a bad light. But this is, which I think is what she talks about here as well, is in the speech she rattles off a list of where all the nominees or big actresses and actors in Hollywood came from, and I think it's to prove that everybody came from everywhere, from different backgrounds, and they didn't start in this bubble, and they didn't always live in this bubble.
But I don't know how much her speech was counterproductive, because although she was trying to convey this idea of that everyone is from different places, I think what she actually tended to do was sort of close that down and make it more of a bubble. You know, she said, you and all of us in this room belong to the most vilified segments in American society right now, which is, it's hard to, if you're watching that, you know, as a working class person in America, to sort of sympathise with, you know, Meryl Streep and this Hollywood, you know, with all the stars and stuff, to think that she's the most vilified portion of American society. And I think it maybe marked out that difference between them in a way that she didn't quite intend to do. She also decided to sort of criticise things like MMA and American football, or football, which I think might be counterproductive to her aims, because she was rather dismissive of something that lots and lots of people really like.
Jordan really likes MMA, to fill you in.
I do, but I mean, like, football is the most popular sport in America. I think her criticism of football was more fair than MMA. MMA is just as diverse as America, as Hollywood. But I think she was saying that these things aren't arts, which I think is an argument that you can make, but she made it in such a sort of dismissive way. What do you think about her using that opportunity to speak about political views, about artists using their platform to advocate?
I kind of think that's the whole point.
Yeah.
I mean, I know a lot of people are like, that's just your opinion, you happen to play a role in a film, and that doesn't mean that you've got the right to talk about whatever. But so many organisations wouldn't even exist without the support of celebrities, or not even. But I mean, there's countless celebrities who aren't even household names that still use their money and their time to support. I mean, there's YouTube stars that do that, and it's. I think a lot of people are just wanting to help, and when you've got the money and you've got the platform, you kind of feel an obligation to do so. I think there's maybe an argument to be made that if you have the opportunity to speak on behalf of a cause that you believe in, that you have a duty to do that. And I don't think you can, as much as you might go, oh well, I don't really care what Meryl Streep, I think she's just an actor. I think she's at liberty to share her opinions if she has the opportunity to do so. Yeah, I mean, she's not saying that everybody should agree with her. That's not the point of the speech. It's to call out something that she's not okay with, and she knows that other people have the same opinion. Did you read the story yesterday about Lady Gaga has been told that she's not allowed to mention politics when she plays at the Super Bowl this year? No. I can understand why, because I think we're going to hear a lot about politics over the next 4 years. But that's why it's exciting. Mm-hmm. I mean, so many people are so deeply upset that Trump won that all we can do is talk about it and use the sadness and fear and anger at Trump's election as a tool to protest and to actually force change by a collective movement. And I think that comes from celebrities using their platform to go point your attention to the right sources. And I think censoring that, the Super Bowl, which is one of the most widely watched sporting events in the US, what's wrong? Well, I can understand that their reluctance to allow her to speak politically. You know, if you are, I'm not sure of the body that organises, was the NFL, that organises the Super Bowl. They have, as you say, it's the most watched sporting event in the US. People watch it of all different political persuasions, and they don't want to alienate the people that are watching it who might like Trump. Yeah, I mean, from the NFL point of view, I completely understand it. But as an artist, but then I don't even know really how much chance she would have to speak about politics. Between songs, that's when she usually does it, I think. I know, but I mean, it's a very tight. I mean, it has to be a tight running show. It's not only just her. There's a bunch of other musicians that do it, so. Sure, you get a flag or something. Yeah. The NFL, you know, they've got the right to set any kind of stipulations that they want, but nonetheless, people are making artists are making a stand against Donald Trump. You see this, there's an anti-inauguration concert. Yes. That's going on. And everybody refused to play at his inauguration, yeah. Everybody? Well, I mean, there's a couple of people that are doing it and everybody's like, well, yes, I think it's essentially 3 doors down at this stage, that's it.
it's kind of sad when a Bruce Springsteen tribute band pull out. That's a bit pathetic.
Did you read there was a suggestion on Tumblr that Barack Obama resigns on his last day so that Joe Biden can be the 45th president, and all the Donald Trump merchandise will have the wrong number on it because he'll be the 46th president.
Is that how that would work?
Yeah, because Joe Biden would be president for a day, giving him the 45th president title.
Well, it's now 2:00 on the 19th, so he's got a few hours left. I do wonder how this period will be looked back on. I imagine I don't want to talk too much about politics, but the next 4 years are going to be quite eventful.
Yeah. Well, I hope they're eventful. I hope it's come and it's forced folk to realise that they need to take action.
So we've talked about the awards that have been given, but there are some that are yet to be awarded. The Grammys is coming up. The nominations, most of them are Beyonce, I think. And in my opinion, deservedly so. Her Lemonade was her album that came out last year.
Yeah, in case you've been living under a rock, Lemonade was a Beyonce album that had a visual aspect to it as well as the audio.
I didn't watch the visual thing.
No, me neither.
No, but the album, audio-wise, was excellent. I think it pretty much deserves to have all the plaudits that it's got. She's nominated for everything, as well as the best album is Adele as well. Yeah,
Adele's also nominated for Record of the Year, as is Beyonce, so it's Hello and Formation, respectively. Album of the Year is 25, Lemonade, Purpose, Justin Bieber.
That was rubbish.
Views.
In my opinion.
There's a couple of the Justin Bieber singles that I thought were quite catchy and relatively well made.
Yeah, there was one that I really, really liked, and I was like, this is great, it sounds like an Ed Sheeran song, and then I looked it up and Ed Sheeran had written it. But yeah, I wasn't really impressed with that album at all. I found it so bland, the music.
So that was Love Yourself.
Yeah.
Was written by...
Quite liked it.
Which I quite thought, it was very much in his style. But I quite liked Churches did a cover of What Do You Mean, which is brilliant. I think it's quite catchy pop music.
Yeah, what I kind of found frustrating about the Grammys is that the award, although they have awards for different sort of genres for rock and rap and things like that, they also have an overall Song of the Year or Album of the Year or Record of the Year, and these ones are always like really sort of mainstream pop, which is fine, but in the case of Beyonce, for instance, hers is a pop album at its heart, although it incorporates a whole load of different influences. It absolutely deserves to be there, but there's a lot of other things that are nominated in these categories. They're nowhere near as good as a lot of the albums that are nominated in other categories.
Song of the Year, for instance, you've got Formation, Beyonce, Hello, Adele, I Took a Pill in Ibiza, which is Mike Posner, Love Yourself, Justin Bieber, and 7 Years, which is Lucas Graham, which I must say infuriates me no end because it's so repetitive.
Yeah, I'm not a fan. But the idea that I suppose it's really, really popular, but it's not a better song, I don't think, than so many other songs that have been made this year.
It is a matter of opinion, and I think when we're talking about, a lot of the bands we like are not your Capital FM playlist. It's just it's a question of popularity.
Yeah, it does very much seem that this category is... It can't be most popular song of the year, but it is. It seems that this category, although the title claims it's overall and it encompasses all music, it does seem to be only really, really popular music that gets in it.
Yeah, so Best New Artist, the nominees, ones that I know anyway, are Chainsmokers and Chance the Rapper. And so the Chainsmokers have that brilliantly produced song, and then Chance the Rapper was born out of this collective in, I feel like it was Chicago, but I'm not entirely sure, and it's just a bunch of like artists and poets kind of coming together and making tracks together, and it's really quite nice.
Yeah, he's great. I think he should win it. His album, or it was a mixtape, I'm not really sure of the difference, but his mixtape colouring book this year was really wonderful. He also appeared on The Life of Pablo, Kanye West's new album, and he was in the first song, Ultra Light Beam,
Right.
It's probably the best bit of the song. So I hope he wins that.
Yeah, I really like his Sunday Candy song. That's just like really catchy and happy, and I think that's a brilliant song with a really nice chorus.
All Night as well. We had a song called All Night, and I'm surprised that didn't get nominated for Song of the Year. Because that was really, really good and sort of poppy. And well, we can play a bit of it. This is All Night by Chance the Rapper.
Everybody outside when I pull up outside all night though. Everybody high five, everybody wanna smile, everybody wanna lie, that's nice, no. Oh, now you wanna
It's good, isn't it?
Yeah, it's quite nice.
It's so I've got crisps stuck in my throat. It's had some crisps while we played this song. Yeah, there's a song on Lemonade called All Night as well. So
Yeah, I quite like that song.
that's
Lemonade.
good. That's not nominated either.
My other favourite one is Daddy Lessons off Lemonade.
Is that the country one?
Yeah, which she played live at the Country Music Awards with Dixie Chicks.
Oh.
Fantastic video if you've not seen it. It's really, really good. And they hadn't released music for ages. It's a really great recording of Daddy Lessons. Really, really brilliant. And the crowd just goes mental for it.
I'm gonna listen to it. That was one of the things that I really liked about the album. That it incorporated a whole bunch of different styles and did them really, really well. Oh. We're recording. We're recording in the studio, and I use that word quite wrongly. In my flat in the middle of Glasgow. So someone's just arrived at the door. And if you can hear any background noise, that's because we're next to the two busiest streets in the city. I don't think it's too bad, but like if a police car or something goes by, I think you can hear the siren pretty clearly.
Yeah.
But we're not expecting any crime today, so it'll probably be okay. It's a Thursday afternoon.
Yeah, it should be okay.
How many robberies happen on Thursday?
Well, I mean, when I stay on its ground level, there's ambulances go by, 2 or 3 times a day. So
You really pronounce that second A in ambulance.
I know, I noticed that
Do you
myself.
not usually do that?
No, ambulances. If anything, I change it to an I.
Ambulance.
But to go back to the Beyonce album, there's a brilliant SNL sketch with Emily Blunt when she was on SNL.
I really like her.
She's fantastic. It's her and the rest of the girls on SNL do a version of Sorry, but it's from the woman in Trump's life. If you
All
haven't
of them.
seen it, you need to, yeah, so it's like, what's his name?
Melania.
Melania.
That's how I say it.
And then his his press woman and his daughters, and it's the most fantastic video. It's honestly hysterical, and it's shot very much like Beyonce shot Sorry, so very good.
Yeah, on the next podcast, we're going to need to talk about the inauguration concert.
Yeah, or lack thereof.
It's the real arts event of the year. It might be brilliant. We don't know. Shall we move on to talk about Bon Iver?
Yeah, so Bon
You're really a
Iver,
big fan.
22 a Million is nominated for Best Alternative Music Album at the Grammys.
As well, it should be. That category is really strong.
Yeah, so we've got Black Star, David Bowie, the Hope Six Demolition Project, PJ Harvey, Post-Pop Depression, Iggy Pop, and A Moon-Shaped Pool, Radiohead. So it is quite a good category.
Yeah, I've heard all of them and they're all really good. I think I'd like Black Star to win it. I think it's probably the best album, but Bon Iver's would be a second. I'm sorry.
Bon Iver is my clear favourite.
Poppy's making a sad face at me. But yeah, that is an excellent album. I think if David Bowie hadn't been such a wonderful person, then Bon Iver would definitely be winning. What did you think about Bon Iver's album?
I loved it. I thought it was a real... so the first time, we listened to the singles that were released at the same time, and that was Over Soon and Death Breast.
There's not really much point in trying to pronounce the names of the album.
No, it's very difficult.
Because they're filled with weird punctuation and stuff, you can't really say them. But the first 2 songs in the album
were the 2 singles that were released, and I immediately loved them. And then the first time I listened to the album the whole way through...
crime happening out there.
Hope everyone's okay. Yeah, so my friend and I took a drive to listen to the album in its entirety, uninterrupted, and thoroughly enjoyed it. However, it's so different to what he's done before. The Bon Iver Collective, because the first thing they released was the EP, the Blood Bank EP, and then moved on to Forever Ago, which I've described before and will continue to describe as an album you listen to at night when you're going to sleep. And then the next album was Bon Iver self-titled, and I've described that as an album to wake up to. And those two albums specifically, all the tracks merged together, whereas they really move away from that in 22 a Million.
Yeah, they're quite marked transitions between the songs.
Particularly the first and second. The first one is very vocal heavy and very kind of harmonic, and then you're immediately struck with this really heavy drum section in the next song. So
did that contribute to the sort of fractured feel of the whole album? I think there's something about his first couple albums that they both have different sort of sound qualities to them, but that they're all quite, I don't want to say relaxing because that's probably an insult to any kind of music, but sort of enjoyable and nice to listen to.
Yeah.
But this one, there were points of discomfort, I think.
Definitely. I think the other than this album, his previous work is very much kind of, you can flow into it and you can tell that there's a deep sadness to the music and the writing that clearly comes from Vernon, but this one seemed to really be about conflict because it was so jarring all the time. I think the other albums, you really had that kind of, it was all one sense of something, it was all like one kind of big emotion that had different complexities, but it was that kind of entirety that he was trying to get across, whereas this, I feel, is much different to that. It's very kind of jumping all over the place.
Yeah, certainly there's a lot going on in terms of sound, whereas with his first album, for instance, this one where he went into a cabin in the woods in Wisconsin and recorded it
which
there.
Is now called April Base, and they've built the studio there.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, so that's where the Staves recorded their second album there, and Volcano Choir recorded there, and I think that's where the second Bon Iver album was recorded, and even the third one as well. I think it was recorded there, but he made that, I think he got the idea for the Over Soon, the first track on the album, when he was in Greece, and he discovered a new piece of technology that could record in a specific way that became the core of the whole album, I think.
You should write a biography or something.
I know. Well, I was only through reading other interviews with him, but I do find it very fascinating how he makes music.
We were going to see him in February at was it the Playhouse in Edinburgh?
Yeah, the Edinburgh Playhouse, yeah.
And he cancelled.
Which is a deep sadness. We saw him, in 2012?
Yeah, we've no right to complain to him. We've never seen him.
I know. Just an idiot for not buying tickets.
When we saw him, and when was it? 2013.
2012.
2012 at the Usher Hall in Edinburgh, front row. It was really good.
To see that live is just fantastic. Because it changes, and that's the other thing. It's like I'm kind of nervous about seeing huge bands live or huge singers live, say Beyonce or Taylor Swift, any kind of big pop stars. I'd be quite nervous to see live because it seems that they're quite loath to change. Whereas, Beyonce, for instance, dances most of her shows as opposed to sings them.
Yeah.
She's got so many backup singers that they end up kind of singing the song while she dances on stage, like with a group of dancers, which is great. It's something fantastic to watch. But I am going to a gig to hear the music live and to hear them explain what the song's about, or just to sing it in a different way, and it's how they feel like singing it that time, which I think Vernon really does with all his tracks.
I think also partly that might be to do with the kind of size of venue that these people are playing, that you kind of need some kind of visual element to make sure that everyone is enjoying it and appreciating it, because you need something big so that the people at the back can see it, which is kind of what I was feeling somewhat apprehensive about going to see Justin Vernon in the Playhouse, or Bon Iver in the Playhouse, because it's really, really big.
It was all seated though.
Yeah.
So, and I think it's kind of, I think it has to do with the style of music as well and how popular it is, and what, because I think, the audience that go and see Bon Iver are very different to the audience that would go and see Taylor Swift or...
I'd go and see Taylor Swift.
I would go and see Taylor Swift as well, but I think it's a different kind of concert. You know what you're going for. Do you know what I mean? But I think, given, you know, you were saying the size of the venue, I mean, I went to see Florence and the Machine at the Hydro. To be fair, she didn't sell out. They had to close the top tier. But she's so electric on stage anyway. I mean, she's away in the clouds most of the time. It was like a really fascinating gig, regardless of where you were sitting. And she sang every note, and she's got the most stunning, powerful voice because it goes so high and so low, and it just sounded fantastic.
The Hydro is really, really good. For,
Yeah.
you know, although it's big, it's you can see, regardless of where you sit, you can see
Yeah.
everything. I've never actually seen a concert in there. All I've seen is wrestling.
Right.
But it worked really well for that. Although
Uh-huh.
I mean, it's an even smaller space that you're focusing on because you're just focusing on a ring,
Mhm.
and you can see everything perfectly. I'd definitely go and see someone in the Hydro. I wouldn't have gone to see when the SCCC was the biggest venue in Glasgow.
No,
I would
I
not
never
rush to see
went
a
for
concert
a gig in the SCCC, but I've seen Churches and Florence and the Machine at the Hydro, and I thought both were fantastic.
I saw Steps in the SCCC. Remember Steps?
Yes.
5, 6, 7, 8.
My boob's getting babies driving me crazy.
Yeah. They did Chain Reaction and all that stuff.
They
And
do
then-
Tragedy.
Oh yeah, I'm sure they did. Yeah.
Tragedy.
It was their gold tour when they did their best.
Well, Gold was, I mean, it was the only album that I actually remember.
That was the greatest hits.
Yeah.
They had like 3 albums before
Did
that.
they?
Yeah, Step Up, I think that was called. I don't know. And they were all based around steps, some stepping places.
Are they
Also
not
saw Blue there.
reviving?
Well, they did revive for like a ITV show, I think.
I think I read something recently that they were coming back.
I don't know. I'm not dying to have them back. I think the Steps season has been and gone.
Yeah. I'm just looking again back at the nominations for the Grammys. The Best R&B Performance, Solange is nominated for Cranes in the Sky. Solange being Beyonce's lesser known sister, who she released her album this year. And there was a really fascinating interview with her, and she was being interviewed by Beyonce.
I haven't heard that album, but it's supposed to be really, really good.
Yeah, I've heard bits and pieces of it, and I've really enjoyed it. And it's very much like Lemonade. She's really making a statement. She had a concept for the album, and she produces all her own music as well.
Alright, so moving on from music, Netflix have just released the latest series of their original creations, which are always, really, really good. I think Netflix it's definitely going to change the sort of TV landscape, but
Yeah, I mean, I think it already has.
in a positive way.
The success of Orange is the New Black, for instance, I would say is arguably one of their biggest shows.
Yeah, maybe they're most successful.
Yeah, and it's, I mean, a really brilliant show in terms of representation of women, people of colour.
Also being good.
Being good.
Being a good TV
Yeah,
show. It's really good. It's got good writing, it's got good acting.
It's excellent writing, it's excellent characters from all different backgrounds, and it's brilliantly acted. I think everybody that's on that show really does a good job.
But Netflix have just released a series of Unfortunate Events, the adaptation of the Lemony Snicket novels of the early 2000s. What did you think of that?
I'm almost finished. I think I'm on episode 5 or 6.
About 8?
I think there are 8, and it covers the first 4 books, if I'm not mistaken. I never read the books, but I did really enjoy the film that was made quite a while ago now.
2004, yeah. Think anyone else liked it other than you?
I really enjoyed it. Meryl Streep, Billy
Yeah, she was
Connolly, Jude Law was Lemony Snicket. I thought the kids were really
Jim
good in that
Carrey,
one.
of course.
Yeah, obviously. But yeah, so the Netflix series covers the first 4 books, whereas the film was only the first 3. It's starring Neil Patrick Harris.
It's Count Olaf, the malevolent uncle. Well, not actually an uncle, some distant relative of the Baudelaire orphans, whose parents were killed in a tragic fire, and he is tasked with looking after them. But he has his plans for their fortune. He wants to take it away from them because he's bad. What did you think of his performance in particular?
I thought it was quite clear that he is a stage actor.
It was very camp.
Very animated.
Yeah.
Which I like. I think it suits the character. I think it suits that kind of like caricature. You couldn't play that any other way, really. I don't think it has to be that. I mean, Jim Carrey is a very animated actor as well. He's a lot of physical comedy and making things sound funny, which I think Neil Patrick Harris does quite well. I do enjoy it. I'm not a fan of the theme song which she sings, which
Yeah.
adapts over the episodes, I might add.
Does it? Well, I've only seen the first one, but yeah, this theme song is essentially telling you not to watch the show,
Yeah.
which is very much in the spirit of the Lemony Snicket novels, which were like, don't read these books because they're too upsetting.
Which I find quite disconcerting about it. It's quite jarring to constantly hear, look away, stop watching this, you could do anything else with your time. It kind of is asking for me to go, yeah, okay, goodbye, I'm not going to watch this.
And see, that was my issue with Neil Patrick Harris's performance, and that I don't feel it captured that aspect of the show. Like he did well at being very sort of animated and a cartoonish kind of villain, but he didn't capture any of the kind of menace that I think the character of Count Olaf has. I never felt that the kids were actually in danger, just that there was this silly bad man.
I was quite surprised that the series, it very quickly moves through the storylines which took up a whole film without, I mean, this doesn't really spoil anything, but the first main event of the film was that Count Olaf tries to marry Violet, the oldest Baudelaire orphan, in a way to get her fortune, and that storyline is done with by the second episode. So I was quite surprised at the pace with which they moved through it, and I think that possibly had something to do with the lack of menace. I did find him quite, I mean, he's not a comfortable person to be around, but I'm not totally thrilled at the pacing of the show.
They had more time than they did in the film, because the film is 3 books packed into an hour and a half, 2 hours, and this is 4 books in 8 hours.
I just have
slightly less.
a distinct memory of the film moving a bit softer. I think the TV show is quite, everything just kind of happens and it's kind of churning out stuff. But then I think it's also, you kind of have to, when I'm watching it now as a 22-year-old, a lot of the things are plainly obvious. And I'm kind of going, just look at it, it's obviously not what you think it is, just think about it a little bit harder. But you kind of have to remember it was made for children.
I don't know if that kind of pacing, where things are just sort of repeatedly happening, unfortunate events are repeatedly happening, is part of what the novel was trying, or the novels were trying to evoke. I don't know whether that makes for good television, but it kind of reminds me of when I read Robinson Crusoe by Daniel Defoe, and it's terminally boring. I mean, it's awful, and but maybe it's not awful. It's essentially the first novel ever written, arguably, and it's so repetitive, and things just keep happening over and over and over again. And when I talked to a university professor about it, they were like, well, that's because Daniel Defoe's trying to give you the sense of what it would be like to live on a desert island with no food and stuff. It would be a repetitive, dull and unpleasant existence.
But is that interesting storytelling?
No. It's about getting the right balance between what the show's about and how it's about it. You can make something about mundane events. Not that a series of unfortunate events are mundane events, but you can make it about that while still making it interesting through structure and how these events happen. I mean, watching the first episode of a series of unfortunate events, I don't know that it did that particularly well. I just kind of felt that it wasn't heading towards anything. Things were just happening, and when the first episode ended, I had no desire really to watch the second. I didn't feel like it was going in any kind of direction.
Neither did I, to be honest. The style that it's made in is very kind of CGI based. Almost nothing seems real, particularly in the first episode. Patrick, what's his face, who plays Lemony Snicket? Patrick Warburton.
Yeah.
He is CGI. He's behind a green screen, or he's in front of a green screen, and superimposed essentially into the scene. So stuff is happening behind him, and it's clear that he's not there. For instance, there's a bit where he's superimposed in, and it's raining, so the rain doesn't hit him, which I'm just not. It's like I know that it's been done for a purpose. But it's not a purpose that I quite enjoy, to be honest. As
an omniscient narrator,
to
not be quite involved. And I mean, it's obviously why they've done that. It is a very sort of visual show. Like, they've put a lot of effort and money into making it look a certain stylized way. Very much unlike La La Land, it doesn't seem like a real place at all.
Yeah, completely contrasting. It's just not a type of series that I would normally watch.
because of the way it's
Yes.
styled?
I'm not. I don't watch animated films.
Would you rather it were gritty realism?
Yeah, or I'd rather that the houses and the sets were made, because you could build something to look fake and to look like a child fantasy, whilst also knowing that it's real. But rather than doing that, rather than paying people to actually craft something that feels lived in and real, they've CGI'd everything, and I just don't find that as cinematically interesting to watch.
I think it's interesting to watch. I don't know whether that is because I only watched the first episode and there's a certain novelty to it that you might be able to appreciate on first glance, but you might, the sort of artificiality of it, even though it's not, it's probably very good CGI, but there is a different feeling that CGI things have compared to real life.
Yeah, completely, and it definitely makes it feel not real for me. Like, I don't feel too sorry for any of the characters because I've got a distance from it because it doesn't look like real life. So I guess that's quite a good thing. You're not getting too heartbroken over this series of really unfortunate events.
Yeah, that is an interesting tension there in the show between that kind of artificiality and you don't feel like it's a real place, and also there are these unpleasant things happening and you're supposed to, they want you to kind of feel that unpleasantness.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe that's intentional. Maybe the stylized nature is a way of sort of mitigating that, of not making it so unpleasant that people don't want to watch it.
Yeah, possibly. It's possibly that it's it's been used as a tool. It's not something I would tend to watch, but I am powering through it.
The novels, from what I remember, were in that kind of meta-ironic style as well, where there were depressing events happening, but the narrative style kind of kept you removed from that.
Yeah, I mean, it's very meta. He's constantly, Lemony Snicket's constantly coming on screen and telling you another bad thing is about to happen, stop watching now. And yeah, I don't know, that's not something I particularly respond to, but I understand that it's through the writing of the novel. But it's also the series is a reunited How I Met Your Mother cast members, because Patrick Harris and Colby Smulders are in it.
Joan Cusack's also in it. I don't know if she stays in it. She's in the first episode.
Fantastic.
She is really good.
I love Joan Cusack, and I think she's really good in this. That was a real saving grace in the first episode, to see somebody who was just, you knew that you were going to get fantastic results from, and I think she delivered big time. And she's excellent in the second episode specifically. Always an interesting performance. And I think she made it really accessible for children without alienating an adult like myself who doesn't really engage with children's television.
Do you think it's for children?
But because I'm not a fan of animation or CGI.
See,
to me it seems like children's television.
Yeah.
However, I know that a lot of people my age thoroughly enjoy that, like yourself, but so I would immediately say it's for children, but I know it's not necessarily made for that audience.
What is it about it that you think is particularly childlike? Is it the cartoonish nature of it? Yeah, the cartoonish CGI nature of it, and it's kind of inherent in the storytelling of it because it moves so fast, and you're kind of seeing it through the eyes of the Baudelaire children, who, the oldest is 14 in this series. So, there's only a certain amount of knowledge that comes with that, even although they're supposed to be the smartest children of the land. They continually get themselves into situations that I'd be like, just phone the police. Why are you paying attention to this Mr. Poe banker? Why is a banker in control of 3 orphans? It seems, I'm willing my suspension of belief big time for this. Do you think that there's a difference between TV shows, for instance, that are for children and TV shows that are just badly plotted and paced? Like, are you just saying it's for children because you don't think something was done particularly well and children wouldn't mind?
No, not at all, because I know that a lot of people our age and people older than us will thoroughly enjoy it.
You really like the Harry Potter films?
Yes.
And a lot of them have those kind of issues.
Well, I mean, I think I really enjoy the Harry Potter book series.
Okay.
I like the films because they bring it to life, and I'm one of the few people who really like Dan Radcliffe. But I know that the films, I mean, having read the books, I know that the films are nothing in comparison to the books, and there's tons of plot holes in them. But what I love, because I'm not a sci-fi fan either, because I find it too difficult to imagine a world where stuff apparently happens that I can't understand, and it's the same with fantasy. But Harry Potter I make an exception for, because J.K. Rowling put so much effort into coming up with rules. So you've got the Ministry of Magic that impose laws upon wizards, and I think that's fantastic. That's enough for me to go, okay, they can't do this because it would run out, or it would disappear eventually, or because it's against the law, because the bad people would come and get them. Like, there's reasons for things to happen.
Whereas in a series of unfortunate events, these rules aren't set up explicitly. You're just supposed to accept that this is
trying
how
to
this world
figure out
is.
that a banker's in charge of 3 children who's an absolute idiot. Like, and I think whoever plays him is fantastic. He does a really good job of that.
There's also when they're deciding who the children are going to live with, they actually move to live with Count Olaf because he's their nearest living relative.
As in closest.
The closest,
In
closest living
distance.
relative. So they moved to him because he's physically local, which obviously would never happen in
No.
real life. But you're supposed to just go, okay.
It's K. Todd Freeman who plays Mr. Poe, the banker, and he does it very well. But I really am infuriated by him. I'm like, would you just pay attention, for God's sake? It's clearly Count Olaf. Like, I mean, I get really angry because I'm just like, it's right there in front of you.
Okay, so we'll talk about a more adult TV show. I'll say that with inverted commas, of course. This Is Us is a TV show that's on in America. I can't remember the channel.
It premiered on NBC.
NBC. It's getting a lot of buzz at the moment. I've seen quite a lot of people talking about it and going, "This is."
Well, it was nominated in the Golden Globes for TV drama.
Good that you give it a little fanfare there.
I was stalling for a time. This Is Us was beat by The Crown for Best Television Series Drama, and it was also, I mean, the other nominees were Westworld, Stranger Things, and Game of Thrones. So it was quite a competitive category there.
Yeah, definitely. But This Is Us is something that I never heard people mention until recently. Some people seem to be really getting into it. You've watched the whole thing, haven't you? I've only seen the first episode.
I've watched the first 10 episodes. I'm just seeing now that there's 12, so I've maybe not watched, and maybe they're not out, but so it's a family drama, I would say.
Comedy drama is how it's described on the website, I think. It's hard to talk about it without giving away, to talk about what the show is without giving away a spoiler.
Yeah, there's a big twist at the end of the first episode that kind of turns everything you thought you knew on its head, because it follows the lives of 5 kind of main characters, and the first episode sets it up and you don't really know how they're connected, and then it is revealed in a very interesting way.
I think it's very well done. It was very well paced, I think, that first episode. Because they did a lot with their 45 minutes or however long they had, and never felt rushed, but they did manage to flesh out these characters. Yeah,
I think it's done very well. I think it's all the characters seem very real and very full and deep, and you kind of are allowed to see throughout the course of the series why they are the way that they are, and it touches on a lot of different issues. But yeah, it's good. It's a good cast with a few people that I've never seen before. Chrissy Metz, Justin Hartley, Sterling K. Brown, all of whom most of the cast were nominated in the Golden Globes as well.
What do you think that one of them or several of them really stood out across the series?
I think they all do to an extent. Because I think it's very well written, and the characters are so deep. They're really portrayed very well. It does seem like a real kind of holistic effort of a TV show, although it's very fragmented in the story. It all fits together really nicely, and it seems like the kind of thing that the cast are quite close on. It seems like the artistic team and the people that are actually on screen kind of have a really nice working relationship. That's how it comes across anyway, because it does really fit together and flow very nicely. And it is paced really well, and I think they give enough time to each moment without overdoing it. I would say throughout the series it is quite cheesy, but I really enjoy cheesy television. So
Okay. Yeah, I think it's kind of, I mean, we compared it to a soap, but it's kind of like a soap in that it's about kind of the average person, but it's done in quite a sophisticated...
yeah, I mean, it's your typical American TV drama, much like Gilmore Girls is the example that comes to mind.
But it is very well told, I think.
Yeah.
Certainly, I only got that impression from the first episode, but it seems very well made. Having seen 10, I'm kind of constantly gripped, and I'm eager to find out more of what happens, because the story really develops in a way that's, you're constantly asking questions and finding out answers, and then hearing more information that makes you kind of wonder what's coming next. And it's very touching, as I find most American TV dramas are. That's touching.
Yeah, I think people are too easy to diss when something sounds nice. Like, one line to me can just completely blow me away, and we talked about that in La La Land when she says this could kill me, and I think there's countless points, I mean probably one every episode of This Is Us that just really hits home. And of course you get the really cheesy one where somebody goes, this is us, and you're like, right, okay, like that was too far. But I think when they kind of allude to that idea without actually saying the title of the show, that is really moving to me. I like that.
You say that's a quality of American TV shows. Do you think that's an American thing? Do we not have that in Britain?
I think British television is very different because we've got a different kind of humour, and we're more... I mean, everybody talks about, like, your classic British problems, that we're very polite, so we'll apologise for anything. I think there's a... Not that I'm qualified to say this at all, but I think Britain is a bit more afraid of saying what it feels, almost.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's harsher and more removed than American television.
Maybe there's more of a sort of cynicism compared to an American sincerity. I remember hearing a theory about the difference between America and Britain is that the people that America is composed of the people who moved away from Britain and decided we're gonna go over there, we're gonna cross the ocean and try and find a better life. So people that were really optimistic and thought that things could be better, whereas the people that are in Britain are people who decided no, we're just actually going to stay here. We don't really like the weather that much. But it's probably even worse over there. So the gene pool here is really sort of conservative and afraid, whereas over there they're
it's
really
optimism,
aspirational.
I think it's possibly quite a good anecdote for the difference between British and American television. But I mean, I think that's a good example is The Office, which obviously started in the UK, and it's still Jim and Pam in the UK office, isn't it? Is it?
I've never seen the American one, but
Jim and Pam in the UK one.
So.
Because I've seen bits and pieces of the UK one, but not the full thing. But they only just hint at getting together at the end of the UK office, whereas the American office is full of their entire love story, and they get married and have children, and it's much more gushy and emotional and cheesy than what it would be in the UK office. But that's the kind of... I much prefer the American office to the UK one because it's got that sentimentality, which I really enjoy. But I'm a very sentimental person, so I really enjoy the sentimentality of it. But I think that's just because that's what I watched when I was kind of growing up.
I wonder how This Is Us in particular would be different if it were made in the UK. Do you think it would be a bit less optimistic or sentimental?
Yeah, and I think talking about the difference between America and Britain, I think there's a real fundamental difference in weather, and that to me, I mean, I'm a huge fan of American television, and what seems so distancing is that we live in a land of grey and they live in a land of yellow, is what it comes across like anyway. I mean, other than Grey's Anatomy, which is about the only TV show I watch in America that is set in a rainy city, the rest of them are all really sunshine and daisies, and I think that does have an effect on the kind of drama you make, because it's not quite as dark and gloomy aesthetically than it would be over here. I don't know what it would be like over here. My parents watched it. I watched the first episode with my parents and they said, oh, it's very American, isn't it? And I was like, I don't really know what that means. But
was that a criticism?
I think it was. Yeah. They're not sentimental like that. But that's the other thing. I think Americans are more set in tradition. You know, they're quite, I mean, Thanksgiving and Christmas, like that kind of holiday period for them is very much based in tradition. Like, you know, they've got the Macy's parade, Thanksgiving parade every year. They do the Black Friday thing every year, and it's kind of very much out of habit, and I think that's what a lot of family dramas in the US focus on. It's that kind of ritual aspect of living in America, I think.
I don't know, it's hard to say. If only we had an American here to ask. It's hard to say from the point of view of an observer.
Oh,
it might
totally.
Be that the perhaps they're not so much into ritual, and it's just that we see it more.
Yeah. I mean, we're only seeing what they put out,
exactly,
but that doesn't mean that is the real life of any American. But I think
it's not that everyone in Britain slavishly adores the Queen, but if you were
very much
in America,
not, yeah.
perhaps, you know, you might hear quite a bit about the Queen.
Yeah, the
and
other
think
thing is that
had a
Americans
significant
appear to
role.
believe that the whole of Britain has one accent.
Yeah.
It's very awfully like that. And, that just drives me insane. But I couldn't answer what This Is Us would be like if it was a British hit, because it wouldn't be what it is.
Yeah.
It kind of seems to be set what it's set, and that's possibly why I like it so much. And I don't particularly watch a lot of British television because I just like the idea that there's sunshine somewhere.
You've started watching Black Mirror, haven't you?
I've seen 3 or 4 episodes of Black Mirror, and I love it, but it's very difficult to watch. So I watched the first episode of the first season years ago when it first came out, and loved it, but was obviously quite disgusted. That's the one where the Prime Minister has sex with a pig. But it's really interesting, and I love the commentary it is on technology taking over. And even as we're sitting here, my laptop screen goes to that Black Mirror where I can see myself and I'm like clicking it away because I'm like, I need it to be alive. And I think the second episode of Black Mirror is one that I couldn't even finish because it kind of haunted me so much. When Jordan and I went to get food before we started the podcast, we were talking about if robots ended up ruling the world. And the second episode of Black Mirror is about this guy who's in... It's almost like a gym, but that's where he lives, and you have to accrue a certain amount of points in order to be allowed to do certain things, and you accrue points by like working out and cleaning and all that kind of, and it really jarred me and I couldn't finish the episode, so I don't even know what the conclusion was because I've just never gone back to watch it. And then I watched White Bear, which is horrifying. Absolutely horrifying.
That's an episode of Black Mirror.
I think it was season 2, and it's got the most British actress's name in it you'll ever hear. Tuppence Middleworth. She's very good. It's extremely bizarre. She's fantastic in it, and it's a really horrifyingly scary, heart-wrenching, heart-racing episode. It just honestly gives you the fear, and then you're like, oh my god, I mean the twist at the end of that is like nothing you've ever seen before. But then they released a 3rd season, and they had a gay episode which was wonderful, and it was called San Junipero, and it was about these 2 women getting together in an odd time. I won't go too much into it because I barely understand it, but it was lovely. It was very well done, and it was very happy, and it was the only Charlie Brooker Black Mirror episode that seemed to be uplifting, which the LGBT community were thrilled about. And it had Heaven is a Place on Earth as the soundtrack of it, so everyone was happy.
Does that sound like the kind of thing you'd like?
Yeah, I mean, it was very sentimental. Like, there was a really happy ending, and you know, it was really good. And that was the episode that I loved the most. But it was very sentimental and lovely and easy to watch, and entirely unlike Black Mirror.
I'm going to check it out because I've never actually watched Black Mirror, but I really like Charlie Brooker's work. And now it's on Netflix. It's sort of very easily accessible.
Yeah. And I mean, it's very, very good. It's just also the most horrifying thing you'll ever watch.
Looking forward to it. I think that just about wraps us up for this episode.
Yeah.
How do you think your first episode went?
I'll wait to hear it back. I'll reserve judgment, but okay. I enjoyed it. Well, whether or not it sounded good.
If you have any feedback about mine or Poppy's performance, or any interesting things to share, any thoughts about anything we've talked about,
or anything you'd like to talk for us to talk about,
exactly.
We're open to suggestions.
I just want to say hello. We're both very lonely. If you'd like to befriend any one of us, that's really what the podcast is about. Is
it's a tool for us to
make friends.
Have more friends. Yeah.
So get some attention. It's a cry for help is what it might be called. I didn't put that in the description of anything.
I clearly had no idea what I was getting into.
Yeah. So should you wish to get in contact, please do via the Facebook page, via Twitter, at Quite Useless Pods, also on Instagram, or by email if you use that old-fashioned method of communication.
I'm fond of the email.
I didn't think email was such a big thing until I sort of became an adult, got involved in the adult world, and it is the way of communicating. Yeah,
and there's so many emails I start. I'm sorry it's taken me so long to respond to your email.
Yeah, so I've got some emails to respond to today. Yeah. I'm sorry D, if you're listening. So that was the third episode of the Quite Useless podcast. Hope you enjoyed it.